Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mike Murray, Head of Open Innovation at Stanley Black & Decker.
Hey. So one thing that we've tried to understand and we try and continue to learn from is how do these challenges play out? So there's different types. Well, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? So the first thing that we've kind of realized is there's broad challenges. These are challenges we open up to the global audience, our 50,000 employees. These are typically relatable topics, and it's really product-driven. We're looking for a product or an incremental change to a product to help drive things. What we're going to get out of this is a lot of ideas, and it's a lot of fun. The employees love doing this type of stuff because it gets them thinking. It gets everyone talking, and it's a good one. On the opposite end of that, there is no opposite end. There we go. On the opposite end of that, we have the technical challenges. These are extremely difficult ones. This is more solutions-based. We're trying to figure out how can we improve something completely. And we really just open this up to engineers. And we're not going to get a lot of ideas out of these, but the ones we get are going to be very thought out and very thorough. And it's really a difficult topic that we don't want everyone trying to solve because it's just not in their background. And it's going to kind of overload the whole process of our program. And in the middle of that, we have our mixed challenges. Now, this is kind of the sweet spot in my mind, and we've seen a lot of success here. So this is varying topics. This takes a lot from the broad, but it also takes from the technical. It's a give and take, and it's got the best of both worlds. And what we'll do is we'll target these audiences, and it's not the same every time. Depending on what it is, we'll target that audience to engineers, product managers, industrial designers. Based on the challenge, we'll open it up to sales and marketing to kind of get an outside perspective of how the customer would feel about this. So these have been all successful in their own right, but it's been important as we move forward to see how each one of them plays out. To kind of taking that and trying to understand what we've run and where does it fit in. So from a broad challenge standpoint, some of the ones we've run one with Black & Decker. We have one coming up with DIYs, and shameful company plug here. DIYs is our new app that allows you to do projects on your own. It has project lists. You can FaceTime with actual experts if needed for help. So if you haven't downloaded it, please do. And then we've also have Stanley for hand tools and storage. So these types of challenges are global, broad, very relatable. Everyone has a blender or a coffee maker where they have an opinion on what feature it should have. Everyone is an expert when it comes to the user interface or the features of an app. And in terms of storage, if you're anything like my household with my kids, I have toys everywhere, and we're constantly trying to figure out ways to take them, put them in storage, not to put them away, but so the kids still use them, but we're not tripping over them. So this is what we want to leverage. Everyone has an idea. They have hacks that they're doing today in their personal lives that they can contribute to this type of challenge, and that's the types of ideas we're getting. Someone is in their garage and they have tool storage that they're using for them because it works, but it's not something that's commercialized. They submit this, and all of a sudden, it's like, wow, we could actually make this work. People want this type of stuff. So these are great challenges, and they produce solid product returns. This is something there that we'll get really good product ideas out of these types of challenges. On the opposite end, the technical one. So, we've run 2 technical challenges so far, one for DeWalt, one for Proto. With these challenges, we are literally taking apart the product and figuring out a new technical solution to see if we can make it work. These are extremely difficult, and what we're looking for is new technology. And I think that the biggest thing with one of these is this type of challenge isn't going to produce an outcome that transitions to the business right away. And this is something that is going to take nurturing, and it's going to take further research to understand. Unfortunately, the businesses don't understand that. They think if they run a challenge, magically they're going to have this great product, and everything's going to be okay. And that's kind of one of the problems we've had with, they're not innovative, which is why we exist. What we're doing is we're nurturing these ideas. That's why we have a mechanical engineer now. We're hiring more to take a further look at these and make sure that these are actually prototyped and have the time to do it. The business doesn't have resources to do it, and we do. So we're kind of taking these on ourselves. If we can solve one of these, this is huge. This could be groundbreaking for these types of products, and it'd be great for the program as well. So that's why we don't want to let them die at all. In the middle of that, we've got some mixed challenges. So security, crib master, engineered fastening. Like I said, these are really good challenges that have that really get I feel like the best type of idea collaboration. So, with these, you're not going to get as much, but you're really going to get people talking. You're really going to get people understanding. You're not going to have, I don't want to say that the broad challenges have fluff, but sometimes you get ideas that aren't well thought out. All of these are well thought out, and that people really want to contribute to them. And these seem to be kind of the ones that have the most impact that we've seen. At the same time, we don't want to push something into mix when it's not, and I could touch on that later as well, but each one does come into its own. So how we promoted all this stuff. So, the biggest reason that we're able to have this type of success is that people know who we are. So, the first thing we do with all of our challenges is we have posters that go out. They go up all over the world in all of our offices, on cubicles, in the halls, wherever we can put them, where people will see them. And we're starting to actually put them in global locations and translate them. So we get people contributing who actually can't speak English as their native language. One of the things we're also doing is we have a lot of plant workers, employees in the plant. They don't have laptops, they don't have email access, but they see the posters, they want to contribute. So we're leveraging our HR resources within those areas to help them, enter in ideas for these people on behalf of them. So it's really to try and get on the ground in as many locations as we can. The other thing we do is we host a lot of events. We have something called a brand day where all of the brands within the company, it's a big, basically event where you can come into the booth, you play games, you win prizes, there's giveaways. It's just a good time. Everyone's having fun at different brands and stuff. We set up our own brand for the drawing board at that type of event. And the reason being is, even though we're not an external facing brand, we're a brand of the company. We want people to know who we are. We want people to interact with us and engage with us. Something else we did is we hosted Bring Your Pet to Work Day. And it wasn't specifically for a challenge. Again, this is just the drawing board is sponsoring this type of event, gets people happy, gets people excited, and they come out and have a good time for a couple hours. Another thing we've done is we've built an innovation wall. So on our campus, we have a wall that all the winners get their name and a plaque up, and it talks of the idea and why they won. So anyone who walks by this is right outside of our main cafeteria. Anyone who walks by sees this. So the employee gets their recognition, and it's up there for a while, and everyone else sees kind of what's going on. So it brings more attention to the program itself. And another thing, which is I think pretty unique at least in my mind, is so we have a breakthrough award with a Tesla. So what we do is if you submit an idea, whether it be for the drawing board, you have an idea in general, but you go above and beyond with that idea, and you actually think through the market research, and maybe you do the prototyping, you hold brainstormings, you don't let any blockades get in your way. Even if the idea doesn't come to fruition, that's the culture we want. We want people following through with that. We'll award you the Tesla as your everyday driving car for 1 month. So you can drive around in it, no restrictions. As far as the charge can take you, you can do whatever you want. And we kind of make a big deal out of actually giving this out. So what we'll do is the employee doesn't know they're getting it. They're actually tricked into thinking they're coming outside for field research. And when they come outside, everyone's gathered around the car, the executives are there, and we have an announcement why they got it, and everyone understands what it is. And then there's a special parking spot with a super station there, a charging station, with their name and a plaque again. And every day for that month, people will walk by and see that this person won the award, and they get to pull in with this spot. So it really helps just gain that recognition for the employee. And one of the things too that we've learned with all of this, it's a grassroots campaign. We have to get on the ground and do everything where we can. There's no global checkbox that's just going to make it work. We have to continue to interact with everyone, and we're a global company, so it's hard, but we're learning about it. So some of these program results today, it's a new program. It's only a little over a year old, so we don't have outcomes in actual numbers. We have projections still. So the first one we ran was with Black & Decker. This was a broad challenge, as I stated. We had a lot of ideas. We had a lot of participation. And the size of the bubble, there's a pretty big projected impact of this. So it was a great challenge. The next one we ran with our hand tools and storage, more ideas, more participation. We were shocked at how well it went above and beyond. The impact was a little less, though, or the projection. But that's okay, because what we're seeing here is two different objectives and two different goals from very different business units with different products. So you're talking about, a product within Black & Decker is very different from a cost perspective from a product that's maybe potentially a hand tool or storage. So each was successful in their own right, and we want to make sure that we show that to everyone as we do this. Then the next two, with Cribmaster and security. Now, these are more of our mixed challenges. So you can see we had a lot less ideas and a lot less participation. But what I talked to before is these types of ideas are more thought out, there's less fluff, and there's more of an impact. And you could see that these had very big impacts or projected impacts in addition. So it's showing that it doesn't necessarily correlate to ideas and participation to actually have that impact. And what we're realizing with this is it's the power of the problem statement. So we're working with these teams to help understand what are their objectives, what are their goals, what is the best challenge we can have for you so you can understand we can give you this great impact. And that's kind of been the key, is to really narrow in on that statement. Overall, and this is just, a 3-year projection still, but based on the original investment, this program is already projected to have a 50 times return on the investment by year 3. Yeah. And we've had 11 challenges. This is only 4 of them. And we don't have the projections on the rest of them. So we still have 7 more that we've run that we're still working through. We have plenty that are running now and in the pipeline. So I mean, this number, when the raw number was actually communicated, it kind of triggered a roadshow for me. And I've been presenting out to a lot of the executive teams, a lot of the councils within the company to help show them what we're doing, and this has gotten a lot of attention. The fact that this program can be very successful in its current state, and if we continue to nurture it. So how have we become successful with this? Like, what are the keys to the success that we've seen? So, I just mentioned the power of the problem statement. So this one has been very important for us. We will actually lay out these to our business units. What are the details? What's the market segment? What are the users you're going to target? What's the impact? What's the opportunity? What are all of these things going to basically build up? And one example we had from one of our groups, he came back with 6 of these filled out, and we looked through them, and there was one that had a huge impact, huge potential, and we wanted to run on that one. But we thought through what are the types of ideas that this would generate, and realized that they're not going to be able to take action on that, and it wouldn't be successful for a challenge. So we kind of stepped back and said, all right, let's find one that is going to have a high impact but also be successful. And the one we settled on just wrapped up. We're going to prototyping, and they're going to prototype 5 ideas over the next month and a half. So it worked out. It definitely was the right thing to do, but it's because we focused on that. Another example of that is we had a joint challenge with 2 business units, and one wanted to run broad, and one wanted it to be more mixed. And we were working with them to try and understand what would be the best benefit. And we figured out that if we went broad for this one, went to the global community, it would be a fun challenge, everyone would want to participate, and it worked out as well. So right now they're looking at 20 ideas that have kind of moved into the final stage, figuring out which ones they want to prototype. So it really working with them to understand the statement has been key to helping make these successful for us. The executive support, I can't stress enough how important this is. We, sitting in this breakthrough innovation team within HR, have had very unusual access to a lot of these leaders, and it has been huge in our success. So our head of corporate communications is a big proponent of it. He's constantly pushing out communications of the winners, what's coming next. He's letting us, weekly saying, the challenge is running, submit your ideas. The next week, don't forget to get your ideas in. So constantly letting us do that, communicating out, big proponent, big supporter. Our VP of Human Resources, who is who we report up through, he has inroads in the company with all these executives and all these councils that we don't have. When he goes in there, he's thinking about us, and he introduces us to tons of other groups about how they can run challenges or how we can support them in other ways from a process standpoint, and in a lot of ways. So the introductions he's given us has been huge in getting our name out there, not just to the global population, but to the executives who are making the decisions to use the program. And then the group executive of Tools and Storage, this is who runs all of Tools and Storage. He has called us out in global town halls. He has pushed his presidents and said to them, you don't have all the ideas in your group, run these challenges. He has called out the success we've had, and he has pushed this. So that support has been huge, and it's all because of where we sit within that breakthrough innovation team, and because of where we sit within HR, not in the business, but as our own kind of unit outside helping everyone. The last thing is a team with diverse skills. Everyone knows hiring is the most important thing you're going to do. Right now, we only have 3 people, so it's been pretty easy so far. But we all have very diverse backgrounds. We all wear very different hats, all come from a variety of different areas. So, you know, our communications girl, she is there, and she has experience in design, in project management, in communications. The mechanical engineer we just hired, obviously mechanical engineering. As soon as he came in, now he's doing virtual reality software stuff. So we're all over the place. I myself came from a background in financial analytics at banks. I then ran a product team, a design team, and a program team at a technology startup, and then I came here. So all that experience has helped me kind of navigate what this program is. Within the past week or week and a half, I've had conversations with a data scientists about data analytics. I've had more conversations than I would have liked to with legal about MSAs and SOWs. I've had conversations, I've sat in conversations with mechanical engineers and electrical engineers to work through some of the ideas we're supporting. So it's this background and these diverse skills that all of us have that are helping us execute on this. And there's really no bounds to what we can do. It's just get things done.